everyone, my name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do a little stitch with me, and I am working on Heaven and Earth Designs. It's Avarice. Artwork is by Marta, Dahlig. This is my oldest work in progress and it's been 11 years so far, but I am in the final 10%, so this will be probably the last time that this will be seen on a stitch with me, and I am hoping to get this one completed within the next sort of maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and I can actually finally get this one off my work stand. So today I thought I would work in the section here with the name, just to get the last sort of portion of it. There's a fair bit of confetti within this area, so there will be lots of colour changes. So yeah, let's zoom in a little bit and have a stitch with me. So there we go. So today it is Tuesday the 28th of June and we are almost halfway through the year. How did that happen? How do we make it stop or slow down? I am working today. It's just before my shift, although I am feeling a little bit under the weather, so whether or not I will do my shift remains to be seen. So yeah, this is my Avarice, and I haven't decided which is the next sin yet. I did want to do them in alphabetical order, but it's just a case of have a look at the other 6 that I have and make a decision from there. So this piece is stitched on 25 count Lugana and it's full cross using 1 strand over a floss over 1 thread of fabric, hence the teeny tiny little crosses. So I hope everybody watching this is well, and I've seen a little bit of a bit of moving and shaking in my sub count recently. It's gone up a little, but then it's gone down, so I think there's some bots out on YouTube again, subscribing, auto subscribing and stuff, so it kind of is disheartening when those numbers go down. But hey, you know, I'd sooner have, you know, 1,000, you know, when I get to that 1,000 subs mark, I'd sooner have 1,000 genuine subscribers, you know, than 2,000 non sort of genuine ones. But if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so before you leave. It does help me. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. It doesn't cost you to subscribe. It's just a case of clicking the button and then selecting what you want to see going forward on the channel, whether it's, you know, all videos or some or whatever. So let's have a little update, because there are some channel changes coming up which I have briefly touched upon, but those are starting next week. So as it stands right now, I normally put out 1 floss tube and 1 stitch with me per month. However, what I've decided to do, instead of a monthly video on the 1st of the month, film every Tuesday or Wednesday, dependent upon when I get the house to myself, and put out 2 videos, 2 floss tubes and 2 stitch with me's per month. So as of next week, next Tuesday, I will start with a floss tube, and I'd buckle in because it's going to be a long one. I didn't do a floss tube last month, so I have at least 2 finishes to show, a new start to show, several works in progress to show. I have some haul. I have some stitchy kindness. So I've got a lot to pack in, and of course the facts and figures for the 2 months worth of stitching, because my last floss tube was on the 1st of, or around the 1st of May. So yeah, it's going to be a long floss tube. And then the following week we will do a stitch with me. Now I'll try to rotate my stitch with me through my pieces. Generally speaking, it's whatever's on the frame at the time. And if you would have wanted me to film, or if I'd have been inclined, should I say, to film this 24 hours ago during yesterday's lunch break, it would have been the next in my Lord of the Rings series, the travel poster series. But it's not. Excuse me. But it's not. I swapped over last night because this one is seriously now pulling me to get it finished. I am absolutely desperate to finish this piece. I have less than 15,000 stitches to go, and I just want it done. But there you go. So yeah, so next week we start with the new format, as it were, and we will be looking at a video a week, which will be, it'll give me sort of something to focus on, which will be great. So, other news. Have I got any other news that I can share this week? Oh yes, something for us stitchers. Well, a couple of things actually. The first thing is the video that Andy, the village idiot, my husband, filmed in Graspy, which is where the Lowry stand is made, is now out up on his channel. I did share it on my Instagram, but if you've not seen it, I will put a link in the box down below, but you can also just simply search on YouTube for the village idiot and then Graspy, spelling Grasby, and there's a little video there about the home of the Lowry work stand, so which I thought was quite interesting, quite good. Okay, so let me just mark these off. Oh. Okay, cat's running up and downstairs, so if you do hear the pitter patter of feet, it's cat's feet. Okay, so another bit of news. I have a work colleague who learnt to cross stitch because, she says, of my influence. I used to occasionally, when I was working, take you know, the odd finished piece into work, you know, just to show off kind of thing. And she sent me. I've not spoken to her a while because she's been unwell. She's not been able to work recently. She's had to have an operation. And she sent me this message on over WhatsApp. Are you going to this retreat? She tried to ring, and of course, because I was working, Andy picked up the phone, and she put the phone down because she was a bit startled. She didn't expect Andy to answer. Cat's in complete lunatic mode. And after I'd finished work, I messaged her back and I says, What retreat? What we talking about here then? Because I've never been on a stitchy retreat. And she said, here's this group on Facebook. It's called Floss Friends. I think it's Floss Friends UK or something like that. Pardon the earthquaking camera. It's because the camera's anchored to my table and I'm currently looking on Facebook. And I didn't turn my vibrate off, so you might get that. It might go zzz, zzz, which is annoying. Can I turn it off while I'm recording? No, I can't. Yeah, Floss Friends UK. So there is a retreat being held down in Retford in Nottinghamshire. It's not, I think Retford's Nottinghamshire. I'm sure Andy will tell me if I'm wrong. It's not far away from me, and it wasn't expensive. It was like £30 for the weekend ticket, but then I had to find accommodation, which was not a problem because I can sort that, no drama. So me and my friend are going down to have the weekend at this retreat on the 8th and 9th of October. It's a weekend in early October, and we are going to share a room. I'm springing for the room. She's taking us down and back. So yeah, can't wait. Quite excited. First retreat, never done it before. Going to meet a lot of floss tubers, I would imagine. So there we go. Anyway, I don't know what sort of tickets there are left, but if you are a UK stitcher, head on over to the UK group Floss Friends UK and request to join. You'll have to answer a couple of join questions and inquire in there as to whether or not there's any tickets left. I'm not sure how it stands at the moment, but I know after I put a post out on Instagram, quite a lot of tickets did disappear. So it's definitely worth, joining the group and asking. So yeah, quite excited really. So what else has been happening in the last sort of couple of weeks since I last did a video? Not a lot. We had our holiday, but I was back from my holiday when I put the last one out. I went back to work. Me and Andy had the weekend away last weekend. I took some stitching with me, and I don't think I did 100 stitches all weekend. Well, I say all weekend. On the full day that we were away, I think I didn't touch my stitching at all. We travelled up there on the Friday night after I'd finished work and came back on Sunday morning. We went up to East Yorkshire to the Holderness coast, and we were near a place called Withensea, which is a relatively quiet sort of seaside, village, large village, small town, maybe. And we went and we, spent some time at the sea, and Andy did his filming, and one day I got like 19,000 steps in or something daft like that, and my feet really knew about it at the end of it, and so did my face with all the sunburn that I got. So there we go. So yeah, it's we've done a little bit of filming. It's been nice. Spend a bit of time together away from the kidlios. As much as I love my children, as they're growing up, they need to now get that independence, and if mum goes away, they're okay, and they need to realise this. that they're fine. So this weekend I have Andy's children coming over, so we won't be going anywhere, although it will give me some stitchy time. So here's hoping that this one gets further and further to that finish. I've started this on about this day 11 years ago, so it's due to be finished. So I've got another Marta Dahlig chart, actually, another option, and I don't know if any of you sort of have seen it on the Heaven and Earth website or browsed it on, or browsed Marta's art, but the one that I'm looking at is what's it called? Andromeda, and it's all greens, you know, whereas this one's been all beiges. That one's all greens. So well, it's telling me here in my Facebook album that it was sort of started in early July. So not quite 11 years, so maybe we can tie it up with its birthday, finishing it. Yeah, so I was looking at Andromeda. I've also got Bubbles. I think I have Persephone as well. I went through a run of getting a lot of Marta Dahlig's charts because I just love her artwork. So I do have quite a few. But there we go. I just love stitching end of, and you know, I mean, if I didn't have to work and I could stitch and go out and film with Andy, I'd be a very happy lass. But unfortunately, my channel doesn't earn anything, and his certainly doesn't earn enough to sustain us both. It's just not possible. So I guess I'll have to, you know, work another month at the very least. I can't retire just yet. I keep saying that we ought to win the lottery, but with those things you've got to go halfway, haven't you, and buy a ticket. I keep forgetting about that part. So, but anyway, it is what it is. So my two finishes I will have to show in my floss tube are my Black Cat with Butterflies, a Lorna Lane piece, the Gecko Ruche chart, and the subject of not my last stitch with me, but the one before, the Visit Mordor travel poster. That is also finished. So I've got two finishes in this floss tube. I've touched a number of other pieces as well, although I haven't touched, as it stands today, I haven't touched Pandemic, I haven't touched the Realm of Middle Earth map, and I haven't touched what do you call her, the princess, the Maui princess. Haven't touched her. So Christmas Window, the Lamb, the Gecko Ruche piece. Just move my camera a little bit. The Alice for Lamb, the Gecko Ruche piece, the Gecko Gem that I was stitching on my last stitch with me. This one, and I'm pretty sure there might be something else. I've all sort of had a touch. So yeah, just mark off some stitches. I'm still working on my technique of thread a needle with the colour and use that colour right to the end, and it's working for me. I'm very happy with it. I know that lots of people have still done sort of the parking, the 10 by 10 blocks, the diagonal parking. The new one that's coming out is Royal Rose. If you've not seen Royal Rose, you can just search for it on YouTube and you'll find the lady, I can't remember her name offhand, who is doing Royal Rose. But yeah, this one's working for me so far, so I'm happy to continue. Just rethread my needle. It's come off. I just tend to sort of attach the needle, the thread to my needle when it gets very short. No, that wrong stitch is in the wrong place. Yeah, Royal Rose, diagonal parking and all that. I can't do diagonal parking. I've never been able to do diagonal parking. I know people say, oh, it's easy, you know, but no, I think, like I said last time, I've just got this sort of, you know, creative mind that doesn't allow me to do something different. I mean, Royal Rose looks good. I think I could probably manage that, but at the moment I'm happy doing this, and I'm going to stick with it for now. It seems to be working, and every day when I take a picture of this piece, and or every time I take a picture of this piece, I usually post it on Instagram. You can see the difference that you know, that day's stitching. You can see where it is. The white block is getting smaller. But yeah, I mean, this piece, blah, blah, can't speak. This piece is desperate for a wash. And obviously I'm going to have to take all the gridding out, so that's going to be fun. Because, as I said before, never will I ever grid this way again. I'll just, you know, I mean, this took ages to do it when I gridded it up in the first place. But yeah, all in all, I have really enjoyed stitching this. It's just a lovely piece to stitch. And okay, yeah, granted, you've got lots of very similar colours, your golds and your burnt oranges and your reds and your burgundies and your browns and your blacks. You know, they all kind of meld into one another, but it's not been unpleasant to do. I've enjoyed it. So there we go. Get rid of those. We're doing quite well. We've done about 75 stitches so far, which is quite good, really. $400. And of course I have all of my threads for this are in little like floss away sort of type bags, and they're all in a box at the side of me. But of course when when it's all been stitched, that box can then be repurposed, and I am planning for my Aframov piece, the Leonid Aframov one, that I've been threatening to start for 6 months, for that to go in there. Alternatively, I mean, I might even save the Aframov piece until next New Year, try and get through some more of the big projects that I've got, see if we can get Maui Princess maybe done. I don't know, I can't decide. I don't just want to start all the things. I know some people do, and that's fine, that's your prerogative, that's your right, but I don't really want to start all the things. I want to sort of limit my works in progress so that I'm getting a regular finish. So I've got the small ones, which are the travel posters, which are about 22,000 stitches. I've got the other 6 sins, which are 240,000 each. I've got the Realm of Middle-earth map, which is about 700,000 stitches. The Mary Princess is about 210,000 or something like that. So I kind of got the finishing bug, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, I might sort of see where else I can finish out my couple of big ones, and of course Pandemic as well. Pandemic's a big finish too. I haven't put stitching Pandemic in a few months. I really need to get it out. I'm seeing once again some gorgeous Pandemic pictures and posts and stuff on. There's a Facebook group dedicated to it, and a lot of my friends are doing it, should I say, on Instagram. So I do get to see some of these lovely pictures, and it kind of inspires me to pick it up. But then, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys know me by now. I'm a full coverage lady, you know, and although I've enjoyed Pandemic, I like to do my full coverage. It's, in a way, I think it's slightly easier. I tell you what, let's throw this one out there. Is it easier to do a full coverage chart with the, you know, without thinking about the extra time, or is it easier to do like a sampler with lots of little motifs? For me, it's easier to do full coverage because I just butt up the next stitch or the next, you know, colour against the one that's gone before. What's your thoughts? I personally hate counting on samplers, which is probably why I don't do them. Because in this house, you know, it's really strange with my family. It can appear to be quiet, but then all hell can break loose literally a minute later, and it's very distracting. So I guess then what I'm saying is that for doing samplers, I don't have the, I don't know if ability is the right word. I don't have the opportunity, I suppose, to actually do a count. Whereas with this, it's just dead easy, because once I've marked off the stitches that I've done, I'm literally just finding the next one. I don't know. What's people's thoughts on that? Be interested to know. Are you a sampler stitcher, or are you a full coverage? Or do you enjoy both in equal measure? I'm sure you've noticed that even my smalls have been full coverage just lately. There we go. Come on. Yeah, just grab a little drink of coffee, keeping me going. I do feel a little bit hooky though, so whether or not I'll be actually working or not is a different matter. Yeah, I've not been too great overnight. If I'm not, it'll just give me an opportunity to sit quietly and sort of stitch as long as I feel like doing it. So, but there we go. I'm going to try and make this a fairly long video today. I'm up early, so I've got a little bit of time before my shift starts. So I'm going to go as long as my phone will allow, I think. Busy outside though today. It's like the flaming M1. I'm pretty sure that you can hear the bzz, bzz of my phone. That's my security camera. I keep forgetting to turn it off, and once I'm recording, I can't turn it off. So I just need to make a note and remind myself, turn my vibrate off on the phone. I don't have anything else going on there just to vibrate, because all the ringers are on silent and stuff. But still, this phone is the best way for me to record these videos. That is another colour in. That C is almost done. It's looking good. Come on, scissors, where are you? I think the cat's just she's finally calmed down. She's come downstairs, gone to her food bowl, then come and sat on the sofa and stared at me, stared a hole through me, and then decided that nope, she's not getting any attention, so off she's gone back upstairs. And that, as they say, that is her. Right. 300. This next colour, we're going to be doing this row under here, and we're going to be doing some of this here, and a little bit here is going to be a different colour. So this C is definitely going to be finished, so that'll be good. Oh, a little tip. Let's put it under the camera. So that is about 4 or 5 strands of floss. Easiest way to separate them without having to muck around with your needle and trying to hook out one piece is just tap it a few times gently on the end, and then look what happens. You can just then pull that one. Ta-da! Don't know where I learnt that from. This one threaded up. It's another dark copper colour. And we're off. I'm going to have to, as well, one of these days, try and do or insert segments of what my underneath hand is doing, because you can all see what the top hand's doing. The bottom hand is actually doing quite a lot of work. And I'm right-handed. Right is, even though I'm ambidextrous, right is more dominant. I can stitch left-handed, that's not a problem. But I ought to really do, or get Andy to film what my hand does underneath the stand, so you can actually see how I work it. So my left hand is again, pretty much equal to my right, but my right is a slightly dominant one. Most people put their dominant hand underneath. I don't. I put my non-dominant hand underneath. And I think I've seen lots of people do it both either way. Some people, I've seen lots of people put the dominant hand on top, like me. Again, there's no stitchy rules, so it actually doesn't matter. It's just one of those sort of idle musings, I suppose, of the stitching world. If you're a two-handed stitcher, dominant hand, does it go on top or does it go underneath? For me, it definitely is at the top. So there we go. Had a bit of a garden disaster this summer. Oh, somebody's out very early with a noisy motorbike. My garden looked like it needed a grenade. A grenade would only improve matters. So we've had somebody in to come and sort of clear the garden and make it nice and flat. So I actually do have a reasonable outside area. We've also christened it with our first barbecue of the summer months, which was quite nice. And well, it was actually on Sunday just gone, where us five and my stepdad, who comes for his Sunday dinner every week, I said to him, I'm not doing Sunday dinner because I'll be travelling on Sunday morning. How about we have a barbecue? And he's like, oh yeah. So off a Julie went, got bread cakes and sausages and, you know, chicken and all the other bits and bobs that you need, and salad and so on. And we had a barbecue and it was fab. And the girls thoroughly enjoyed it, and Hannah was the one who actually cooked the barbecue. But what I do tend to do, I have a big thing about food safety. And I part cook to the degree that it's almost cooked food in the oven covered in foil. And when you're putting it on the barbecue, you are then just completing the cooking process and then adding, you know, the brown to the outside, the char. And it works really, you know, quite well. So we do it like that. And we followed up our barbecue with some absolutely beautiful fresh strawberries. Now, we passed through a village, and in the village it had a strawberry farm. And we were passing through to go and do some filming, and I said to Andy, are we coming back through this village? This was on Sunday, and he said yes. And I went, right, we're stopping. And he went, I said, there's a strawberry farm here, and I think if we get some fresh strawberries, that will be just the ticket for after our barbecue. Well, of course, Andy's face lit up because he loves fruit. So I went and I got 2 massive punnets of strawberries, and you're talking like, if you're in the UK and you go to the supermarket and buy a large tray of minced beef, I'm talking sort of that size tray. Probably at least 1 kilogram of strawberries in each, and they were like £2 a tray. So we brought them home, and you know, I cut the green sort of, well, destalk them and give them a little rinse, and I put them out, and oh my God, you have never seen fruit vanish so quick in all your life. Between 6 of us, they were all pretty much gone, but there was some left for Andy's breakfast on Monday morning. But they were the most beautiful, sweet strawberries I've ever had. And I've since found out that that particular shop grows strawberries for Marks and Spencer's. And again, if you're in the UK, Marks and Spencer's is like a grocery store where it's all high-end, sort of high quality. They don't do like a basic sort of a budget sort of range. It's all their own branded food, and it's all sort of reasonably, you know, high quality. And there's no wonder that the strawberries were just so good. So yeah, so we had those. And also on our travels, I love to, you know, when I see like a farm box where they're selling eggs or honey or jam or preserves or whatever, I always like to have a look, because I think it's a nice thing if somebody's taken the time and effort to make this stuff and share it, or to collect the eggs and what have you, and they just, you know, their surpluses being, sold, not an inexpensive price, don't get me wrong, but certainly for what you're getting, organic, free range and all that sort of stuff, certainly with eggs, it's worth doing. So we also picked up some fresh eggs and a jar of jumbleberry jam. Now, there's no such thing as a jumbleberry, so I said to Andy, I bet that this jam is made up of oddments of fruit, so not enough fruit to do a whole sort of batch, say all strawberry. So it might be some strawberries, some raspberries, some blackberries, some just like sort of soft berry fruits. So we get to sample that, but we also brought that back. And I like I said, it's something I like to do. There we go. In fact, for my lunch today, a little later, I might just have a fresh omelette from Holmton. The eggs were from Holmton, which is a tiny parish, again on the Holderness coast. Yep. So there we go. I'm just using up the rest of this thread because there's a few of this colour in the letter E. And then I'll get the last colour out and we'll finish off the letter C. I think Andy was wondering if this piece would ever be done. We were talking about it the other week, and I said to him, I says, I will finish it. He says, you said that you wanted to do all of them. Yeah, but you haven't done one. And I haven't done one yet, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do the rest. You carry on filming your Village Idiot stuff and you leave me to the stitching. Or you guys, if you're watching him, there's a video coming up later this year. It was one of those that we filmed this weekend. I think it was Elstromwick. I made him go down a slide in a kid's playground. Oh God, it was so funny. He got stuck and had to take stuff out of his pocket so he could actually slide down the slide. Oh, I was howling. Absolutely hilarious. But he's a good sport, I have to say. He said, this isn't going to be a regular occurrence. I went, I know. Who's going to hold the camera? Don't think he'd thought that one through. So, yeah, he's a good sport, is our Andy. He's had a bit more radio exposure, as it were. He was on BBC Radio Derby, I think it was, at the weekend, and he's speaking to somebody from BBC Radio Nottingham this week. So he's racking up more BBC radio stations, because they've had East Yorkshire, Northamptonshire. He's been on a BBC television. He's been on Channel 4 television. He's been on a few things. He's been in the Guardian newspaper. He's been in several local newspapers. So yeah, quite proud of him. Last thread in this stitch. No, last stitch in this thread. Can't speak. I'm worse than a Monday. Today's Tuesday, but I'm not terribly good, but I'm worse than a Monday. I was talking to some people yesterday through work and everything. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can't get my words out today. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's a Monday. We all like that. I think it's the after the weekend and your body's in a slump and it doesn't want to go back to work. Oh, I definitely need that lottery win. What colour have I got next? 435. So we're going to finish off the C now. And then there's just the E to complete. Which, to be fair, shouldn't take all that long. I do love these times when the house is quiet and I can just stitch away. I think, I mean, I'm in my late 40s now. It's not going to be, well, I've still got probably 20 years before I retire. I think my retirement's going to be pretty full of stitchy projects. I mean, of course, you know, I'll family and Andy and so on. And as long as I have my health, I'll be spot on. Oh, speaking of health, that's another little bit of news. After I came back from Lowestoft, I had a bit of a problem. My heart felt quite a lot at the time like it was trying to beat out of my chest, and it was very uncomfortable, and I went to see the doctor. Now, we already know from the last round of blood tests that I'm pre-diabetic. I need to lose some weight and my cholesterol is up. The losing the weight is a work in progress. But, you know, she asked me to have an ECG done and some more bloods. I haven't heard anything. So, no news is good news. I have to have a scan on my abdomen because I have... When you're pregnant, your tummy muscles are supposed to sort of, you know, they widen to allow the baby to grow. And they should go back after the baby's born, and mine never have. So I'm being sent for a scan just to make sure everything is okay in my stomach, and then hopefully I'm going to start some physiotherapy to try and get things to knit back together, as it were. And I had a scan actually about 2 years ago, because I was having a problem and I thought I got a grumbling gallbladder, but I hadn't. And the doctor told me that on that scan they had found something, but what it was harmless, and it was on my liver, and it's something called a hemangioma, I think it is, and it's like a benign sort of collection of blood vessels. It doesn't become cancerous, which is good news, only in extreme rare cases. So, and she said, didn't they tell you? And I went, no. She went, oh, well, they're harmless. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you've just told me I've got something on my liver, so my anxiety levels have just rocketed up. But I'm not concerned about them, because I mean, if something was going off, something untoward, all of the blood tests that I've had in recent weeks would have told me. I mean, I've had 2 lots of blood tests done. They would have said. So I'm back to her in a few days' time for a catch up with her. And then in between, Lauren, my youngest daughter, has won an award at school, so I've got an award ceremony. Then one of my friends got married. He had his civil ceremony last week, and they are having their Wicca. So they're having a Wicca ceremony. I won't be going to the ceremony, but we'll be going to the evening do after work on the Friday. So holy moly, I've got a lot going on. And then I'm back to see the doctor after the weekend. After that weekend, should I say. I mean, this idiot had a face-to-face appointment with the doctor and went on the wrong day. I mean, really, I ask you. I couldn't understand why it wouldn't let me book in. Yeah, turns out that the digital system will only allow you to book in if you've got an appointment on that day. And I'm stood in the doctor's, luckily I'm nowhere near the desk, and I'm kind of scratching my head. I'm like, why isn't it booking me in? Now, with our NHS, they send us a text message to confirm the appointment. And she sent, and this, I read this text message, and I'm like, oh no, I've got the wrong flipping day. But no harm, no foul. Yeah, we're all good. Annoying though, isn't it? But never mind, eh? Never mind. Anyway, I am going to finish this thread because the C is now complete. And I'm going to go and get ready and sit at my desk and see if I can put in a full shift on account of me feeling a little bit unwell. I'm not delicate or anything like that, don't get me wrong. I'm just not feeling so well today. And if I'm not feeling well, my performance is certainly not going to be up to scratch. So I do want to make sure that, I'm okay. Supposed to be going in for the day in the office tomorrow, but considering I'm currently experiencing a stomach bug, don't think it's a good idea to go in because of the risks of passing it on. But we'll have to see whether or not I'm even capable of working tomorrow, because if I feel anything like I do today, I might not be working today yet. Oh, I'm so loving this piece. Just loving it at the moment. I'm going to miss it when it's finally finished, because I can't put it down at the minute. I just need to then find another can't put downable piece. I'm sure I'll be fine. Oh, I found myself as well having to invest in a clip-on magnifier because my eyes, for anything smaller than 18 count, forget it. So for my 25 and pandemic, which is on 28 count, I've actually got a magnifier so I can see the stitches. although because I'm filming this on my phone, I can look through my phone, and my phone actually magnifies it for me, so I don't need my magnifier now, but I will do very shortly. And I'll have to see how it goes, because if I can't manage without the magnifier, I might have to make sure I have a selection of, 18, 14, 16 and 18 count projects so I can stitch with me on. But there we go. It's the perils of getting older. Springs and eyesight. Those are the two things that go. And your ability to walk past a cream cake and not put on 5 pounds. Because it seems like that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, let's mark these off and see how many stitches that we have got done together today. Come on, mark off. I love Pattern Keeper. Okay. We're done. Just over 200 stitches. And let's just zoom out. That C is now done. So I'm going to spend the rest of the day working on this when I'm not, working at my desk kind of thing. So my lunch hour and after work. I might even get the E done today. Who knows? But doesn't that just look gorgeous? I love this style of lettering. Beautiful. So that's it. That's everything from me today. Thank you very much for joining me. As I said before, and I know I sound like a broken record. If you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. You'll help me out an awful lot. Take a look at some of my other videos, and as I said, next week we start with a one-on, one-off rotation with floss tubes and stitch with me's. So that's all from me today. All that's left for me to say is just take care of each other, take care of yourself and each other, and I will see you on next time. Right, bye for now.